We are back. All right. Let's do it, Jared. How are things going? We did all our season preview episodes. We're back for the Reporters Corner. No more of these bringing on people who think they know what they're talking about in the conference.
Matt Cavender.
Yeah, we'll get to, I'm sure that'll be a topic of conversation throughout the year. Michigan Tech having a pretty good weekend against Minnesota, but we had a great interview today. Jared, how are things going in Bemidji?
Yeah, things are going well. Bees came off a nice sweep. They're back home this weekend, so I'm excited to be back in the hockey rink watching the men's team, but I've already covered 4 women's games, 5 if you count the exhibition, so we've already been in hockey season. It's been great. This is what we live for, right? This is why we have to slog through the summer. Oh no, all the nice weather. Oh no, all the golf you get to play, Jared. Oh no, this is why we grind through those rounds of golf, those 18 holes every day to get to this point. And it's exciting, and it was fun to get college hockey back on our screens this weekend. Not just with the Bees and Tech, but also St. Thomas picking up a nice win over St. Cloud. Augustana tying St. Cloud in exhibition, because everybody cares about exhibitions. Lake State had what did Lake State do? I know they won the Saturday game. I don't know about.
Yeah, I think it was a split.
Okay. Northern,
but I mean,
goalie of the year, William Graham.
Yeah,
coming for your neck, Alex Tracy. So, but yeah, no, it's fun, right? I mean, this is what it's all about, and we're so excited to get back to the players and coaches part of the Reporters Corner. So we had a good one on today with Brett Meerman from Augustana, and as a bald guy, I love another bald guy, and we got to talk a lot about the bald guy, Brett Meerman. Trent, what did we get into with Brett about?
Well, before I go further, Lake State swept Stonehill
Lake
College.
State swept Stonehill.
Had to double check that. 5-3-3-2. So shout out to the Lakers. No, great chat today though with Brett Meerman. Obviously days away from the start of the season for Augustana. They'll be playing at UMD this weekend. I know it's a series they're really excited about, but a lot to talk about with Brett for this Augustana team. They were one of 5 teams in college hockey, didn't lose a single player to the transfer portal. We've brought it up countless times on this show and other shows. But we talked a little bit about what that cohesions look like here in the early going, and what it was like to just kind of stick around all summer and be with the guys and really kind of take that next step. They got to skate with a pro player too, and Walker Dewar, and I know that was a great experience for them. The first South Dakota native to make the NHL, and Walker's now with the Winnipeg Jets. So looking forward to seeing what he does this year. And I know there was no shortage of fun things to talk about in Brett's career. He's from Alberta, rural Alberta. Grew up in a town called Blackfalds, Alberta. Eventually they got a junior hockey team too, about a year into his junior hockey career. And so he got the chance to come back home and play for the inaugural team in his hometown, in which he was the captain. Had a 100-point season in his final season of juniors, and talked a little bit about how he made his way to Augustana and what those first few years looked like. And then, of course, we got to ask him about guys like Josh Kotai, Hunter Bischoff. Jared, we said, I think it's one of our favorite episodes that we've recorded. Certainly up there. I mean, Brett was a great chat. And, this is an like many teams in this conference, an intriguing team going into the season, and really interested to see what the Vikings look like this year, and what I think could be a really special season for a team that won 18 games last year.
Yeah, no, this is probably on my Mount Rushmore of TRC interviews that we've done. I mean, he was a funny kid. Like we usually try and jot down some of the moments that we can kind of look back on, and my whole notebook's full. Like he's a good kid, and we did get into the bald aspect of hockey, and and the trials.
I was outnumbered here. I'm outnumbered, so we had to bring it up.
Now.
Yeah, for now.
But we did talk about the trials and tribulations of losing your hair in your early 20s, and just the gut check time decisions. It comes down to. So it was a good one. It was a great chat, great way to kick off the year again, and we're looking forward to doing more. So here's our interview with Brett Meerman. All right. It's time for our first player interview of the new season. And who else do we have other than Augustana's Brett Meerman? Brett, thanks for joining the show. Thanks for hopping on. Just how excited are you to get this season underway?
Yeah, obviously pretty fired up. A lot of us stayed over the summer and got our work in. So finally ready to get let out of the cage here.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's an anticipated weekend. You got a little taste last weekend in St. Cloud, but an exhibition isn't the real thing, obviously. And just how exciting is it after, like you said, a long summer where a lot of guys stayed back to work. That you're finally getting ahead of it and going into Minnesota Duluth for your first game this season.
Yeah, obviously it's super exciting. I think we've put a lot of emphasis and practice just on the energy level and all that stuff. But obviously it's you can't really get to that point until you're in a game. So I'm excited to see how the boys actually raise their energy level to get there.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about sort of the off season kind of going into this, because I think the big storyline out of Augustana is, 5 teams in the country didn't lose a single player to the transfer portal, Augie being one of them. And in this era of college hockey, I think that's a pretty considerable and remarkable feat. What do you feel like that's a testament to, just in terms of being able to keep this roster almost entirely intact? And how do you see it as a benefit as you guys kind of get ready for this upcoming season?
Yeah, I think it's just a culture thing. I mean, I think even like there's guys that like didn't play a lot last year and like no, maybe they're not going to play a lot this year, but it doesn't matter. Like everyone like wants to work for that spot. Everyone wants to be together. It's not about individuals here. It's about like being together and being with the boys. And I don't think we have any guy that strays away from the pack. Like it's all just kind of like a pack mentality. We're all just together, and I think guys are willing to work for their spots here, which I think is a good thing to have.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it, right? Guys stuck around in the summer. How many guys on the team were around Sioux Falls this summer?
Oh, there's probably 20 plus.
Holy
It depended on, yeah. It depended on like on the weekend. Like some guys, obviously, like I didn't have the luxury to go home on the weekend
right.
if my family was having something, but a lot of the guys like Monday to Friday, like I'd say more than 80% of the team this year.
How does that kind of feed into that culture building side of things when it's not just like you're here for 8 months out of the year and you go home? It's you guys are actively working, trying to build towards something here with this group.
I think it makes it a lot easier. I think especially for like the new guys coming in, like when you have new guys coming in and you kind of throw them into the fire at the start of the year, it's tough for them. So I think having that first month or two to kind of take them under your wing and show them how you do things and how the team does things, just to like kind of lead the way for them. I think that makes it a lot easier, because then they're not scrambling during the year. They're scrambling during the summer, and then they figure it out by the time the year starts. So I also think that has a lot to do with like the camaraderie of the room. Like I feel like we're probably tighter than most teams are already, because we've all been making fun of each other since June. So
now when it comes to these summer practices, how like were you skating at the Shields Iceplex? Where were you guys finding ice? How often were you able to find ice? Walk us through maybe some of the ins and outs of training together as a team in the summer.
Midco was pretty open most of the time. Like I remember after the season, there's like some guys that like to skate in the summer more than others. I feel like as soon as the season's done, there's a couple guys that want to take a couple weeks off. Whereas me, I feel like I don't know, I just always want to be on the ice. So I feel like I would have like a routine. You could go on whenever you wanted, honestly. Like I have the rink guy's number, so I just ask him if he could zam the ice at a certain period of time. So like that way it's super easy. And Eric does a great job with that too. Like all he asks is put the nets off to the side when like closest to the Zamboni door when you're done. Like other than that, it's pretty much free reins. And like I said, you can pretty much go out whenever you want. It's just clean up after you're done.
I gotta ask too. I mean, the accessibility to the rink just feels like such a plus that maybe a lot of schools the size of Augustana probably don't have,
right?
especially in the summer. I mean, just talk about that side of it where you're not only encouraged to stay in town and work together as a group, but they kind of roll out the red carpet for you as hey, text the rink guy, he'll get you he'll clean the sheet for you for whenever you want it. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like even with him, like, because he has access to like the lights in the arena are like on his phone. And he's like he sent me the login for it. So like when I go in and he's not there, I can just turn the lights on and off. And like thankfully he trusts me to do that. I mean,
That's
but
great.
yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's not really like anything I've had before. So it's pretty nice. It's a good luxury to have.
I got one more about the summer, then we'll get into the rest of it. But Walker Dewar, Sioux Falls guy. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
You got it.
Obviously, just talk about he skated with you guys a little bit in Sioux Falls. I've heard. So, what was that like?
It was pretty cool. I feel like some guys were a little timid to go with him in a couple drills, so I found myself going with him a lot. Obviously very like explosive like skater, but like very like just good dude, honestly. Like he'll give you pointers if you ask. He's not gonna like go out of his way to do it, but like if like you ask him, like he's more than willing to offer help. And he's just a play driver. Like when he really turned it on, you're like, all right, this is why he's where he is. You know what I mean? So obviously it was really good to just like see that and like his kind of demeanor on the ice. And it was just a cool like role model experience, I feel like, for a lot of guys.
No
Did you ever
doubt.
chirp him in some of those line rushes there?
Oh, I gave him probably the biggest pizza when we were playing this small area game. To end the game, I gave him like the worst turnover right in front of the net, and he scored, and I just got off the ice. I was so mad. Like I was like, he just read me like he just like fooled me. Like he held his stick one way, I passed it, and he just jumped on it and scored, and then the game was over, and I was just like, that was so embarrassing.
A total pro. Walker's a great interview, great guy, and fast. I mean, if you're on the ice with him too, you definitely see the NHL speed. That had to be an awesome experience. But we got to get into it. I mean, this isn't a reporter's corner if we don't, get into the hockey journey a little bit. And I think your story is really cool, Brett. We've talked a lot about it in the past. You grew up in Black Falls, Alberta. It's a small town just north of Red Deer. It's about halfway between Calgary and Edmonton. I mean, what can you tell us about life in rural Alberta, and what were those early playing days like for you at the youth level?
I don't know. It was honestly like growing up, like it was just playing with my buddies, but it was just like, it was honestly super nice because one of my buddies actually, his dad was coaching I guess it would be like high school hockey here. He was coaching like the high school hockey team at the same time as an assistant coach. And then he was coaching our like U6 or U7 or whatever it was team.
Right.
And so right from that age, it was like we were treated like we were high schoolers. And like some parents hated it, obviously, but some people like rose because of it. And like he always made me do extra. Me and a couple guys would always like have to do like different variations of drills. And like he knew what he was doing. And like honestly, I credit him a lot to like how he, out of like a small town, he made it seem like a lot more like professional than it probably was, especially from a young age.
Yeah, I mean that I wanted like I've kind of noticed that right here, like at every local level I've been at of just the hockey, right? It's that continuity from the high school level kids, whether it's in Canada or the US, to all the way down to when kids are first tying their skates and playing team hockey beyond just stick and puck league on a Wednesday night for 5-year-olds, right? Like once you get to squirts, that continuity is so important. Just talk about how maybe that continuity helped you as a hockey player go through the ranks and really hone in on what you're good at.
Yeah, I think it was, I don't know, it's kind of hard to put into perspective. Like I feel like when I was younger, like especially like in a small town, like not to be that guy, but like there's there's 5 guys on a team that are going to be a lot better than everyone else. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And so right from a young age, it was always like I had the regular season of playing with my buddies in Blackfalds, but then I would go to spring hockey where it was all the good kids from all around on one
Mhm.
team. So like it kind of was like a reality check a lot of times during spring hockey, which was nice. But I think it was good because um it allowed you to like work during that regular season, like knowing and then going into like spring hockey was honestly more this season to me
Mhm.
than it was like I feel like I remember a lot more of spring hockey than I do of like regular season.
It's probably more competitive for you and like your
Yeah.
talent level,
Yeah.
the kids around you too, for sure. But you start playing juniors at 17 and played 4 years of junior hockey, which is a lot of junior hockey, man. I mean, that's like 250 junior hockey games. Like,
Yeah.
it's nuts. But obviously, you start in the BC. It says from paperwork issues forced you to make a last second decision and look elsewhere. You get in contact with the Grand Prairie Storm in the AJHL. You traveled 10 hours by yourself to Grand Prairie, get your first experience in juniors, really. Talk to me about how you got into junior hockey a little bit better than I just did.
Oh, it was that was another I grew up real quick in those like that month and a half. Like I feel like I went to Salmon Arm. I was in school. I was practicing, and at the time Scott Atkinson was their coach, and he's an older guy and he's like known for being a hardo. And so we had these like brutal practices, and I remember like I was like kind of having these paperwork issues, and um it was always like, okay, like we're waiting on it, and like then you'll be able to play. And it was just like I've always been like a guy where I'm like, all right, if it works out, it works out. I'm just gonna work, and then if it doesn't, then we'll figure it out from there. And the way they made it seem, it was like, okay, like it's gonna get figured out in a couple days. And then it like kept going, kept going, kept going. And I'm just doing these scratch skates where I'm just getting bagged. And I'm just like this, like I'm like I feel like I have a pretty good attitude 90% of the time. And I'm finally like, it's the end of the month, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Like this is insane. And then finally they were like, look, like I don't know if this is gonna happen. And there's like a school kid deadline when you're in junior. So it was like before October like 15th or whatever, you have to like be settled in a spot for like school purposes. And then so I had to like just pretty much scramble to find a team. And then my buddy Cade Mason, he used to play at LIU. He
Mhm.
actually he was playing at GP, and so I was like I just texted like him and like the GM because like I'd been talking to them before, and I was like, is there like any chance? And it ended up working out. So I pretty much had 2 days to pack my stuff into my 1994 Mazda tiny car and drive from Salmon Arm, British Columbia to Grand Prairie, Alberta. So
Holy cow, man. That's
yeah, that was a
you,
rough first month.
the obviously it's been a while since you went through that process, right? But you're on the other side of it. It's 7 years removed from that. Was there ever any doubt in that, you know, in your hockey ability to make it worth it through all of the hurdles that you had to go through?
Honestly, I'm I feel like I'm pretty confident in myself. Like I've
Mhm.
always like known what I can do if I'm in the right spot. Like I feel like it's always just like I'm a big believer in like if you work for it, like it's gonna work out. And so I feel like I mean there's multiple times where I'm like, all right, what am I doing? Like COVID year, we play 18 games. Um, like that was a big like, whoa, like what's going on? Like, is this gonna affect me long term? Like, is this like so that was a little scary. But I think as soon as that passed, I was kind of like, okay, like it's go time. Like I'm gonna figure it out here. Um, and I feel like I just kind of stuck the course, and I'm happy the way things worked out. Obviously,
Yeah.
2 seasons with the Storm, you know, you had 33 points, 13 goals, 20 assists, 67 games. But then, I mean, that is honestly the bigger story of your junior career. 2019, Calgary Mustangs get relocated and moved to your hometown in Blackfolds. And, you know, as the hometown guy, you're named the inaugural captain of that Blackfolds Bulldogs team. What did it mean to you to just be the first captain of a new AJHL team in your hometown?
Obviously, it was super cool. I mean, we had like every fan that came to the game was like someone I knew. Like it was like I felt like you could look around in every section and I'd know somebody. So I feel like that was like a super honored to like wear the C there, obviously. But I think just being a part of it as a whole was more rewarding. Just like the community, like kind of bonding over a team. Like hockey's always been like a thing there, but they've never really had any. Like they had a junior B team when I was younger, but other than that, there wasn't a lot to rally around. So I thought it was super cool. And obviously playoff time, we were selling out the arena and stuff. Like it was just super cool to see that, especially considering there was probably about the same amount of people in the building there as when I was born in Blackfalds. So it's grown a lot. So it was super cool to see.
It kind of seemed like that's when your junior career really started to take off too. I mean, you had 63 points in year one. You make the playoffs in 2022. You know, in 2022-23, you had 109 points in 76 games. It's like some of these CHL numbers we see now. It's nuts. You know, and that was for a Bulldogs team that made a deep run in the Centennial Cup. You know, falling to a really good Brooks Bandits team too that won the Centennial Cup. Just what allowed you to make that big jump in around that time and take that next step forward in your hockey career?
I think there was a couple things. I think we added a lot of pieces like around me. I feel like our first year it was kind of like I don't know if you ever saw, but have you ever checked the first score of a Blackfalds Bulldogs game in history?
I have not. Nope. No.
Yeah, so our first game we decided, let's play with the Brooks Bandits to show them that we're the real deal. And I'm the only guy that's ever played junior before. And we lose 17-0.
Wow.
It was the worst game I've ever been a part of in my life. Like I was this is the worst day of my life. Like, and so as soon as that happened, it was like, all right, maybe we need to rethink what's going on. And I felt like I was a manager at that point. I was texting all my buddies that weren't playing a lot on other teams and was like, hey, like, you should come to Blackfalds. It's awesome. Like after we just lost 17-0, they're like, yeah, I'm sure it's awesome right now. I'm like, okay. But so obviously and then honestly, there was probably 2 of them that actually came, but there was a lot of moving around after that. And I feel like that first year was a lot of like figuring out. The last half of the year, we were actually good. First year was a lot of growing, and then the second year we kind of had some of those pieces come back, and then added to that. So made it a lot easier for me because I had a little bit of people to start with on the ground, get running. So that was good.
Well, you know, it's interesting too, because I put these questions together earlier today. And I came across that, and it was at the same time, and it would have been exactly the same year. I just talked with Josh Kotai last week, 2 weeks ago, about his junior career. We were talking about it, and that Brooks Bandits team beat his team to win the Centennial Cup. So there's now these. It's one of those. College hockey is much smaller than we think, right? Or the hockey world is much more insular than we think.
How much does he give it to you about that game? He's got to give it to you every now and then.
Oh, he didn't play his team.
Oh no, didn't play me.
Yeah, it was the Brooks Bandits team.
Gotcha.
That beat them in the AJHL championship. But they ended up going on to win the Centennial Cup that year. Just another interesting little side piece to it, because you make your way to Augustana. And obviously, I'm just curious to know, what can you just sort of tell us how you end up on the Vikings radar? I know as a former coach, right? It was Andy who's no longer there, and he's kind of the one who made the inlets. But how did you sort of end up on the Vikings radar, and what ultimately went into your decision to join Augustana?
I think it was kind of just that 20-year-old year. Like it was actually kind of crazy because um my buddy that was actually or no my it was one of my teammates. He was living with me at the time because obviously I lived at home in Black Falls.
Hmm.
And it was the very start of the year, and it was like he came a little early just to like hang out before and like get like settled in my place. And he ended up showing me like this video, and it was of Augustana. I had no idea what it was at the time. And he shows me
Hmm.
this video, and he's like, dude, this place looks sick. Like I could see you going there. Like that'd be like a new spot.
Interesting.
And like I was like, oh yeah, like that does look sick, but like I don't know, there's no rink or anything. Like I was like, it doesn't look that sick. Like I was like, I was like, yeah, but like that would be cool. I mean, I was like, new team here, new team there. Like I've done that before. And then he was like, yeah, like that'd be cool. And then I don't know, he just that was the first like time I really even heard about it. And then I think first four, it was like 4 games into the year, you do like the showcase, and we actually hosted it in Black Falls.
Hmm.
And so we hosted it, and like the first guy I talked to was Andy. Um, and he just like seemed like a pretty, I mean, he's a Boston guy. He's not gonna like
Yep.
beat around the bush with you. Like he was like straight up, told me what I was good at, told me what I sucked at, told me what he thinks I could do with the program, and like just he was just honest with me. And like I'm used to that. Like I like a straight shooter. So I was like, and so that was kind of just like the start of it, and then just progressively talk from there, and then figured things out. I don't know.
Yeah. Can you recall? We love asking this question, but it was. I feel like I asked you this too when we talked, and I did a feature on you last year. Can you recall a specific sort of welcome to college hockey moment in that first year? That I think you. Yeah. Go ahead.
Nelly gives it to me every single day.
Oh, does he?
If I have a slow first step on the half wall, and he tells me every time. So it was Wisconsin Cole Center.
Oh yeah. First
Uh,
weekend.
yeah, I get the puck on the wall and I start skating like straight line up the wall, and it looks like I'm pulling a trailer. Like I'm going so slow. It is unbelievable. And I think I'm moving, and this guy just comes behind me and just strips the puck, just goes back in the zone. And then Tyson Jugnoff, the same shift. I go out at him at the blue line, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna bait this guy middle, and then he's gonna go there, and then I'm gonna poke it from him. He goes middle, and then I jump, and then he goes back the other way. I fall over, and I was like, this is a tough start. Like that was all in the first shift. So I think that was my welcome to college hockey shift. And thankfully it went up from there.
I mean, it can't get much worse, right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, so, but you finished the season, right? You finished that 23-24 season, 13 points, 3 goals, 10 assists. Just talk about the lessons you learned, right? I mean, it wasn't just, a new, emergence into college hockey for you. It was for a lot of guys on that team. And, even for the guys who transferred in playing at other schools, it was, hey, we're doing this together. We're breaking in this new program together. Just talk about the things you learned and you got to build on as you moved into your sophomore year.
Yeah, I think a lot of it just came with obviously like you adjust to the speed at the start. And I think the biggest thing is like being like trusted by the coaching staff.
Yeah.
I think if you're a guy that like puts up numbers, I feel like you also have to, like in junior it's different. Like sometimes you get a little like your leash is a little longer. Like you go out and you're like supposed to score goals. Like if you miss a guy on a back check, it's like like don't like get back on the back check, but it's like nothing's actually happened. You know what I mean? So
Right.
um so that was kind of my situation. And then when I got here, it was kind of like, all right, you miss that guy on the back check, you're not playing next game. So it's like you kind of learn real quick where it's like, okay, like you got to develop that consistency in your game, and like that trustworthy um spot. I don't know, like you just got to be trusted in all situations if you want to actually play more than little minutes.
Was Was there a moment during that first year of Augie hockey where it kind of set in that, hey, like, this is real? Like, we got something real here that, I know we're a first year program. We're playing essentially playing an independent schedule. We're playing in 2 different buildings, but where it started to feel like you had something real going?
Yeah, I mean, obviously everyone, if you ask, would say that Denver CC series. But to be quite honest with you, like, should we have won that game in a shootout? Probably not. So I think like
You're
that was
not
one
wrong.
where, yeah, that was one where it was like we won, but it was like, and it like felt good. But then you like look back at it and you're like, all right, we probably like definitely shouldn't have won that game. The CC one, on the other hand, like I felt I was actually in the stands for that game, but the CC game, we actually like I felt like we looked like the better team, and that was the time when I was like, okay, like we're actually pretty good, like because we just squeaked out a win the night before, but then we went into it like another team that was also ranked, and it was like, all right, we actually beat these guys, like it wasn't like
Undefeated at the time too.
yeah,
They hadn't
like
lost
it
a game.
wasn't like a fluke win, like kind of like the Denver was, but um I don't know. I think that was the first time when we were kind of like, okay, like we're actually pretty good.
The shootout tie, I always go back to my favorite moment in that game, and you probably remember this, was Numo. The puck's going down to the net, and he just like reaches out and hits it away from the net. If he doesn't do that, Augie doesn't get the game tying goal to send it to a shootout where they eventually won the shootout. It's just an incredible effort play, and I'll never forget just getting the chance to ask Garrett about that afterwards because I knew he was just going to speak glowingly about that effort play. And I'm sure you remember that very vividly too. I thought the CC game dominated the whole game. I mean, really, it was truly one start to finish by Augustana. Josh Kotai, who is a great segue because that's what we want to ask about next. It was his first signature win with this program. Certainly helped last season to have one of the best goaltenders in college hockey on your side. His numbers were impressive. We'll give him to you quick. 31 appearances, 1.92 GAA, 936 save percentage, 3 shutouts. What makes him such a special player, and what can you just tell us about his preparation and how much of an advantage he gives this team?
He's an alien. That's what it
is. He's something. He's like, I don't know. He's just such a competitor. There's been a lot of times in the summer where, again, he's another guy that like always wants to be on the ice. So there's been multiple times where it's just me and him, and we'll do this game where it's like I have a minute to score. Whatever, I think it's 3 pucks, and we'll do like a best of 7 at the end, and it's just a bagger for both of us. But like we're both
really?
like, and it's like we're both like wired where it's like we're getting pissed off at the other guy. So it's like it's one of those things, and like he's always like that. Like, I feel like I don't know how the other goalies feel about it, but he takes a lot of shots in practice. Like he always wants to be in the net. He's not the guy that takes 5 shots and goes to the corner. Like he's like always wanting to be in there. And like even as a starter, like I feel like morning skate, like most goalies will want to get their touches and then get out and get focused, where he's like sometimes he's the last goalie on the ice. Like it's like kind of crazy. Like he like loves the work, and like it's honestly really nice as a player because you always want a goalie to be in the net, and he's like always willing to be that guy, which is nice. And kind of to go off your other point, like it obviously just gives you like so much, like you feel a lot more like free to play your game when you have a guy like that behind you. Like I find like personally, like if he I don't know, but like he's a guy where it's like if you like mess up, there's a lot of the times he's going to bail you out. Not that like that gives you like leeway to
100%. I know exactly what you mean.
Mistakes, but
yeah. And I think the learning how to play winning hockey just comes with experience and playing time, right? Like you're going to learn to avoid those plays, and you're going to learn how to just naturally your game is automatically going to because of reps and practice. I want to ask about another guy though too. I want to ask about Hunter Bischoff. Obviously, returning points leader along with you last season. Both you guys, same class. We're here together. You've been here every step of the way. He's the captain. What makes him such a worthy person for that captaincy?
I think he just does. Like he doesn't mess up. I've never like played with a guy where it's like he's like never in the wrong spot. Like there's like I'm sure like he would not say the same thing about me, but there's like a lot of times where it's like you end up like in the corner and you're like, oh, I just screwed up. Like I hope he's like F3. Like I hope he's the high guy and is covering me right now and he's there. Or oh, I'm gassed. Like I don't think I'm gonna be able to catch this guy in the back check. I hope Bish has some legs. He's there.
Yep.
Like it's just one of those guys, and like such a good defensive stick, like makes life a lot easier for everyone else on the ice. Like there's just everything he does is just kind of lead by example. I mean, that's the best way to put it, I'd say.
I gotta ask about last year because it was kind of the quintessential up and down year, right? I mean, for you personally, you had 23 points, which tied the league, the team high. But Augustana was like their true breakthrough. They, number 2 team in the CCHA, home ice for the CCHA playoffs. And then again, you run into the Beavs, and it was a tough, punishing, grinded out series. How much does the end of last year kind of fuel you guys going into this year?
Yeah, obviously, I think it puts a little bit of a chip on your shoulder. I think, I don't know, like we always talk about it like in the room, and it's like there's so much talk about like how we like swept CC or we swept Omaha, and it's like we've accomplished all these great things, but it's like we haven't won a series. So it's like it's not like we're this mighty beast that like some people say. Like it's
right.
We still like consider ourselves underdogs in the fact that like we haven't really proved anything yet. So I think kind of just having that mentality that like you still have something to prove every time you go on the ice is kind of what we take under our wing. And so I feel like we just kind of run with that and just do our thing.
Well, you've been here with these guys all summer, and this is the last question we got for you before we get into some one-time or some fun stuff. But you just kind of the gauge that you've gotten with what you've seen from these guys that you've been with all summer. What feels different about this year's team compared to the first 2 Augustana teams that you were part of?
It is. I think we have a lot more like playmaking ability. Like I feel like we're quicker on pucks. I feel like we're quicker to like make plays, and I also feel like we like I don't know. We seem a little like we don't seem, but like I feel like maybe it's just because I'm one of the older ones now, but
yeah,
like there's not like guys that are like a lot older than me. So like sometimes it feels like we're not as old, but I feel like we're maybe even older.
3 seniors,
like,
right? I think it's only 3 seniors. So
I think we all, yeah.
3 or 4.
Yeah. So I think it's just a little different in that aspect where like you just don't feel like you're older, but you are. But other than that, I think it's just the speed of the game that we're playing at. I feel like we're all playing at a pretty high level right now, and this group's come together pretty quick. But at the same time, all of our other groups have too. So I don't know. I'm interested to see how this year plays out for sure.
All right. Now it's time to get into the fun stuff because I've been waiting to ask another Sioux Falls resident some questions. So,
I'm right here, dude.
Yeah, I know your answer. So we do this every week. Favorite place to eat in Sioux Falls?
Oh, I like that.
I'm going to be honest. I don't go out to eat really.
Really?
That doesn't surprise me. You seem kind of
Chick-fil-A on campus. Is that what you're?
No, I will like. I don't think I've gotten it once this year. I'm serious. Like it's pretty much free with like a meal swipe, but I still just don't think I've.
Just cook at home or?
No, the dining hall is like right across the
road.
road.
The Commons, come on.
It's they got a new spot now. They got the simple servings, or it's just straight up rice, meat, and or meat and potatoes or
in Whole Foods. I was telling
It's-
Jared about it, how it's been completely renovated. Did you ever go in there, Jared? The whole
No.
dining hall's been redone.
No, they served
it's
us prison food when I went to college.
Oh, it's better now. I'm also not picky at all, though. I feel like some guys are kind of princesses when it comes to that stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. No. What dorm did you stay in freshman year?
Oh, I was in Wagner.
Oh, that's like a new one too. You
Wagner's
got
a new
all
one.
you're in the posh dorms, man. Like,
Yeah.
What were you, Berg?
I was Berg 420. It looked right. It's right across from where the rink is right now.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Just a short walk back from the Crowbar Casino.
I like Berg soccer. How about this one? And I think I remember you talking about this. Is there a pro player that you've kind of grown up admiring the most, and like just kind of maybe somebody you model your game after?
I'd say like when I was like really little, I didn't model my game after him at all. I just loved watching Ovechkin. I don't know. I just
Right.
love, like, I'm a very like talkative guy at the rink, and I love to play hockey. And like I just found like he was like an older guy that loved the game. Like it didn't matter. Like he loved scoring goals, loved being with the guys. Like so I just kind of felt like I had like the same energy as him at the rink. If I was like pick like a player, I'd say
Like current?
yeah, current player. I'd say maybe like a Gensel, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe like a Gensel. I'd
I
like
see that.
I think that fits
Yeah.
better than Ovechkin right now. I don't see you sticking at the top of the circle.
Yeah.
One tees.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big.
Given Brett, you got a good shot, but that's giving your shot a little too much credit.
Yeah, no, yeah, not.
You're a Caps guy though,
not
right?
much
You're a Caps
Yeah.
fan, right?
Yeah.
Let's go here. 3 years in college hockey. Where's the toughest place to play in the CCHA?
I mean, it was definitely the toughest 7 minutes I've played. But it was in Tech. I think Tech was
Year
tough.
one?
I remember. Yeah, year one. I just got scratched 2 in a row, and I took a tripping penalty in my first shift. And then I looked to my right, and there's 2 people dressed as pandas in the middle of November.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I remember just looking over and just like, I was like, what is going on?
Oh,
And then they just like start laughing, and they're like, we got him. And I was like, what is going on? So that was, but they're loud. And I feel like once you're actually like there, like once I'm actually like playing, that'll be probably one of the harder ones.
What about outside of the CCHA? Toughest non-con building you've been in?
He can't say Grand Forks because he went up there and dominated last year during an exhibition.
Yeah, not that one. They were like right over us when we were walking out, but I don't know.
Yep.
I don't even really remember what was going on. I think personally probably that first game in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
That first
Well,
game in
there's-
Wisconsin.
That was the first
Um,
game in the Hastings era too, so I'm sure they packed it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't crazy packed actually, but I remember after the first intermission, I was like, I always give high fives to the guys after. Like I've just always done that since I was younger, and like then I go in. And I remember it was like I'm getting like balding chants at me. And I'm like, it's my first college hockey game. I'm like, how do these people have their research
How
done
do they
already? Like, I'm
know?
like, yeah, I was like, but I mean, I guess national anthem, so I guess that got me. But I don't know. That was probably the only one that I really remember.
Mm-hmm. How about this? We like to ask this one too. Looking back on your days, and it can be from your junior career, it can be from your college career. Maybe if you've gotten the chance to skate with some pros and whatnot too, that a lot of guys do. Who's the most talented hockey player that you've ever played with before?
At any level.
Most talented. Most talented I've played with. I honestly, I don't even know. I feel like with or against,
It could be either.
Yeah, you can say against.
or I guess with. I remember it was actually when I was like younger, like those spring hockey days. Jake Neighbors, he plays on the
Oh,
Blues now,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
obviously. But me and him were both just like thick kids when we were younger and would just take turns running each other over. Like, and it was just, I just remember that was my big rivalry when I was younger. But I also remember like he was also on my team for like a U8 or I guess it was like U16 Alberta thing. He was on my team. So he was probably one of the most skilled players I've played with.
Mhm.
Also, I don't know if you know the name, but Kyle Krankovic. I think he's in the Coast right now, but undersized guy. But when we were younger, he was like leaps and bounds. Like I was like, this guy's unbelievable. Other than
Yeah.
that, it's just kind of you grow up and you got new guys on your team, and
Yeah.
some guys figure it out, some don't. It's not so much to do with skill as smarts and all that stuff. So kind of harder to think about now than
Yeah. What about most underrated hockey player you've ever played with that maybe just kind of flew under the radar, but you're like, you got to see this kid play. Like he's nasty. You can pick a teammate for this one too, right now, if you need.
I'd probably go Bomber then, like Baumgartner
Yeah.
on our team. Like that guy, like
I'm with you, man.
he's so silk. I don't know what it is. He
I
also
swear.
he lives
What
at the rink too though. Like,
I was gonna say, I've been in there like 3 times during the summer, and I'll hear shots going off, so I'll just walk up and take a look. It's just him. It's
mhm.
just him out there. And I swear this happened multiple times. I was interviewing Josh Kotai 2 weeks ago. Owen's out there, everybody else is down in the lobby, listening to music, just kind of warming up, and Owen's out there on the ice. Like, yeah, you're right. I kind of been with you on that.
Yeah, no, he's super skilled. Obviously, like he's got a lot of patience with the puck, and he's quick once he gets out of those turns. Like I don't know. I think he'll have a good year this year. I hope so, anyways, because he works for it. So
We've gotten some good answers for this. You know, we've started asking this one like midway through last season, Jared.
Yeah.
And we've got some really entertaining ones with this. You come across so many connections, you meet so many people. Who's the most famous person in your cell phone?
my cell phone.
This dude's like, I don't even own a cell phone. Like,
I don't even know.
Who do we have last year that was kind of the top of the chart?
Aaron Trotter said he had Connor Bedard's number.
Oh, that's pretty. Yeah, I think that's
That
kind
was
of
the
one.
best one. He beat Lucia, so I don't.
Yeah, Don didn't even have that, huh?
No. Don
I
said
don't even.
Mike Emmer.
Oh yeah.
I
Is it
don't
Garrett
have.
Radwin? Because he might be my most famous person. In
Yeah. Yeah, maybe pump his tires a little bit. I'll tell him that. I don't know.
I'm almost wondering too, because growing up in Black Falls, it's not like you're skating around.
It's not like you're in Med Hat. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like maybe Jake Neighbors, if that's like one
that
you could
definitely
say,
counts. That's a good one.
Yeah, I'd say probably him.
Hell yeah. Well, I got 2 more for you, and they're the funnest ones we got. First one is, who is the best golfer on the team and the biggest sandbagger?
Best golfer, probably. I'm honestly like I don't really go out golfing when I'm here. I usually just save that for when I'm home, but because I'm too cheap. But I'd say I've heard like the Hennons are good. Both of them are good. Both of them shoot under par sometimes, and then sandbagger, I'd definitely say Colton Friesen, because I feel like he will always tell you that he's worse than he is, so he gets more strokes and then he beats you.
Why am I not surprised by this?
Because that's what he'd do, 100%.
The last question I got for you, and it's a special question. It's the first time it's ever been asked.
I know exactly where this is going.
When did you decide to shave the head? As a bald guy myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. When did the
Let's see it, Brett. Come on.
When did
Come
the
on. You guys
tarp come
got me outnumbered right now.
Yeah.
And I knew this was gonna happen at some
There
point.
we go. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Honestly, it was like I remember right when I got here, Nelly always told me stories, and he was kind of like, yeah, like I had a teammate that had the same thing in college. And then he was like, at one point, like the boys just told him, like, hey, dude, you gotta let it go. And he just like literally, like, it was like he said it was at a party, and he went downstairs and he shaved his head and he came back upstairs at the party and like was just like he just owned it and embraced it. I don't even know.
I think it might be Chad Billings.
I think that might be his name.
Yeah.
I thought
he
he
said
said Chad.
Oh my god.
At one of our road trips, he ended up like meeting him for coffee or something. So it would have been
Chad Billings.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
He was a co-captain on the national championship team.
Because I remember I saw him right at like I saw them like having a coffee in the lobby. And then Nelly, of course, comes up to me and was like, that's the guy. Like, I was like, all right. But I don't know what the last straw was. I just remember it was like we were like about to go to Alaska or something. And I was like, no one's gonna see like I don't know why I thought this, but I was like, oh, no one's gonna see me for a couple weeks anyways. And I was like thinking, but then I'm like, all right, it's not gonna grow back for the next 30 years anyways. So I was like, what? But
it's not like if I cut it, it's gonna start working its magic.
Yeah, I think the final straw was seriously just I would always wear a hat and it was fine, but I was more of like a backwards hat guy than a forwards hat guy. And you can probably see it here. But like it would like split in the middle. So I'd have hair on the side and hair on the other side.
It's like a reverse widow's peak.
Yeah, it was a reverse widow's peak. And I remember looking and I was like, you know what? If I can't even hide this with a hat on, what am I doing? Like, I was like, this is brutal. And it was like, you go out for like meals on a Thursday night and it's like no hats. And I'm like, okay, this is like my biggest nightmare. Like, this is terrible.
Oh man.
So at that point I was just like, man, like it's just time to let it go.
Well, first, you look like a nail gun. I mean, it's like you look like an absolute nail gun out there. But I did the same thing, kind of as you, where like the no hat situations were like terrifying.
Yeah, absolutely terrifying.
Like when I was in college, my last semester, I used to work at Lids, the hat store in the mall, just picking up beer money on the weekends, right? And like, I used to have hair that went like halfway down my back. I had like thick red hair, big flow. I had the man bun going through the back of the snap.
Oh, Jared.
And like we got like a new shipment of hats in one day, and I'm like, oh, these are sick. Like they got a Twins hat for me in here, everything. And I was like trying on some of the hats, and I like took one of the hats off, and it like put back like the mane of hair, and you could just see it thinning through it. And it was the first time in a hat store. I was like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. I'm going bald at like 23 years old. Oh my God, this is over. And it sucks. He's like, my dad's got perfect hair. His dad had perfect hair. Everybody. Except for me. It's your mom's,
I think it's mom's father, if I remember.
Yeah, he was bald at like 20. So that's how.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my dad has like the same as me. My dad has 4 brothers, same thing. And my mom's dad was bald. So I was like, look, I just don't got any hope here. There's nothing going good for me here. So
my best friend had to do it too, man. And you know what, Brett? We are proud of you for just accepting it, man.
Bald show here.
We are 100%, dude. As a matter of fact,
players in the CCHA are welcome on this show. We're going to create an all bald team.
You know what, Trent? You got the beard going. I think you should take the.
It would go good. It would go
Trent.
good with it. You know what? I gotta ask my wife about it, but I think she might be into this. Like, just
if you take it off, I'll come on more often.
There we go.
We'll
Okay.
give you a weekly spot if Trent
A
shaves the hair.
trio of skinheads here.
It's funny because I ran into over the summer I ran into Will, and Owen one night, and they said you were inside. I was at I believe it was Pave or something. You were right outside there, and I said Brett's in there.
Couldn't have been Pave.
Couldn't have been Pave. Couldn't have been Pave.
I'll stay away from Pave at all.
Good answer.
You were somewhere around there, and they were like Brett's in there, and I said, does he still have the bald head? And they were like, oh yeah, and I go, good man. I said I just told him, and I was like I'm just so proud of him for committing to this.
I think
it could have been a one-off thing.
I think they told me that. I do remember that.
We got to find another bald player in the CCHA, and you guys can do like a post-game jersey swap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yes, Jared.
Or a razor swap.
I got a good one. I need mine.
yeah, I was gonna say I can't give mine up either. Once you go bald, you got to shell out a lot of money for a good razor.
Yep. Yeah. You got to lock it down, dude.
Oh yeah.
We'll have to get some feelers out for Perry and see if he can start IDing all the bald players across the league. We'll just send emails to all the SIDs. Say if you have bald players, we need to know because we're gonna have a communal episode.
Coached by Tom Serratori.
Man. Bill Buckle. I mean, the league is loaded with him now, man.
Yeah, we have the best bald coaches in the country.
We do.
Rabs has got to get on board.
I know, man. It's falling behind.
Oh, I think he gives it to me more than anyone else. So I don't.
God.
I don't know if he'll hop on the train.
You just got to chirp him for caring too much about his looks. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Pretty boy Team USA with his big flowing hair.
Yeah, I can't say too much because his team's beat mine a couple times.
Oh, it's true. That's true.
Yeah.
True.
Soon as Canada wins one, maybe I'll be in his ear a little bit.
There you go.
Until then, I have to wait.
Yeah, just do a little bet. Like, hey, I'll shave my head if the Americans win, you shave yours if the Canadians.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. That's all we got for you. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Brett,
for hopping on the show. This was a blast.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right. Once again, thank you to Brett Meerman for joining the show. And thank you to our producer, Perry Lascaris. Subscribe to the CCHA Show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts from. And subscribe to the CCHA on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter at Trent Singer and at Jared Rubado PP. You can check out our work at BemidjiPioneer.com and SiouxFallsLive.com.